Get ready for some serious sensory overload because today we're diving headfirst into the Sinukwan Festival in the Philippines.
Ooh, yeah, the Sinukwan Festival.
This isn't just another festival, oh no.
Oh, no.
We're talking about a full-on cultural explosion, a celebration of Kapampangan culture with, get this, a deity at its heart.
And what's really interesting about this festival is how it embodies this amazing resilience of the Kapampangan people, especially after facing some really tough times.
Resilience, huh? Okay, now you've got me hooked. Tell me more. Who exactly is this deity?
This Aring Sinukwan, the festival, is named after.
Aring Sinukwan, a central figure in Kapampangan mythology. Think of a deity, right? Directly connected to the land, the harvest, the whole shebang.
Embodying the community's well-being, their prosperity. Exactly. The festival becomes this incredible act of gratitude to Aring Sinukwan for providing for the people.
Wow, so this connection to the harvest makes me even more curious about the food at this festival. I mean, we are talking about San Fernando City, right? The culinary capital of the Philippines.
Oh, absolutely. This is a city that lives and breathes food. You'll find food fairs just bursting with flavor, showcasing those classic dishes like sisig.
Sisig, now that's that sizzling pork dish, usually served on a hot plate, right?
Yeah, and if you're feeling a little adventurous, there's bitut.
Bitut?
Yeah. Well, let's just say it involves stuffed frog.
Stuffed frog. Okay, I thought we were easing into this culinary adventure. See, this is why I love these deep dives. You never know what's going to come up next. But speaking of history, while we're on the topic of food, I can't help but wonder about the festival's ancient roots.
Oh, there's a definite connection there. I mean, the Sinukwan Festival, it didn't just appear out of thin air. It evolved from these ancient Kapampangan rituals, ceremonies really, all centered around expressing gratitude for successful harvests.
So these weren't just feasts, they were a direct line to Aring Sinukwan.
Exactly. A way to acknowledge the deity's role in their prosperity.
So we're talking about a festival steeped in tradition, going back centuries. That's quite a lineage. But I'm also really curious about something you mentioned earlier, the resilience of the Kapampangan people. Where does that come into play with all of this?
Well, that's where things get really interesting. You see, in 1991, Mount Pinatubo erupted.
Oh, wow.
Causing widespread devastation across the region. And we're not just talking about the physical landscape here.
Right.
This disaster really shook the community to its core.
I can only imagine a volcanic eruption like that must have been terrifying. And the aftermath, I mean, the rebuilding process, it's almost unimaginable.
Exactly. And it's against this backdrop of, devastation and uncertainty that the Sinukwan Festival takes on a whole new meaning. So in 1998, several years after the eruption, the festival was revived.
Wow.
But it wasn't just about bringing back a beloved tradition. It became this powerful symbol of hope, like a testament to the Kapampangan people's strength and their determination to rise from the ashes.
Well, that just gave me chills. To think that something as joyous as a festival could emerge from such darkness, it really speaks to the human spirit.
Absolutely. It's a reminder that festivals are more than just celebrations. They're expressions of identity, resilience, a connection to something larger than ourselves,
Beautifully put. And speaking of expressions of identity, let's talk about the festival itself, especially that visual spectacle. I've had those street dancing competitions are just electric.
Oh, they are something else.
Really?
Picture this. Streets flooded with these vibrant colors, costumes so elaborate, they belong in a museum.
Wow.
And that rhythmic pulse of traditional Kapampangan music. It's infectious.
I love a good story.
Well, that's the thing. These dances aren't just for show. They're stories brought to life.
Well, tell me more about these dancing tales.
So each movement, each gesture, carefully choreographed to narrate local folk tales, historical events, even scenes from, everyday life. And the music.
Yeah.
Oh, the music.
Yeah.
Deeply rooted in Kapampangan tradition. Just adds another layer of depth to the performance.
It sounds incredible. Now, I know we've talked about the food, the dancing, but I can't forget about the Princesita, Lacamban, and Lacambini pageants.
Right.
This isn't just a case of who wore it best, is it?
You're absolutely right. While these pageants are visually, captivating, they go far beyond just appearances.
Okay.
The participants are stunning, often adorned in this exquisite traditional attire.
Right.
But they're also judged on their knowledge of Kapampangan history and culture, their intelligence, their talents.
So it's more about celebrating like mind and heritage than just like physical beauty.
Exactly. It's about encouraging a deep understanding and appreciation for their cultural legacy. And you often see these participants go on to become, ambassadors of Kapampangan heritage.
Oh, wow.
But the festival's commitment to preserving and celebrating their culture, it doesn't end there.
Oh, there's even more. I'm always up for a deeper dive. Tell me, what else does this cultural extravaganza have to offer?
Beyond all the amazing performances and stuff, there's this whole other side to the Sinukwan Festival just waiting to be discovered.
Okay.
We're talking cultural exhibits,
Okay.
workshops, you name it.
Wow, so like a whole other layer of the festival to explore. So tell me more about these exhibits. What kind of stuff are we talking about here?
Imagine like stepping into a world of traditional craftsmanship.
Okay.
You'll find exhibits with like beautiful textiles, pottery, just a real treasure trove of Kapampangan artistry,
It's really amazing how these festivals become like living museums, preserving these traditions and sharing them. But you're not just observing at these workshops, are you? You're actually getting involved.
Oh, yeah. That's the best part. You can learn traditional weaving techniques from the masters themselves.
Wow.
Try your hand at pottery.
Oh.
And get this.
Yeah.
You can even learn the secrets behind Kapampangan cooking.
Wait, hold on. Are you telling me I could learn to make sisig, that incredible sizzling pork dish, from the people who practically invented it?
The real deal.
Sign me up. I am there. That's incredible. So for anyone listening who's ready to book their flight right now, what's the best way to dive headfirst into the Sinukwan Festival?
Well, first things first, you want to head to San Fernando City, the heart of Pampanga. The good news is it's super easy to get to from Manila. Just a couple of hours by bus, even faster if you're driving.
And our source mentions that there's a whole range of accommodations too. Hotels, charming guest houses, something for every budget. But I imagine things probably book up pretty quickly during the festival, so planning ahead is key, right?
Absolutely. And just a couple of, insider tips from our source for first-time festival goers. Make sure you pack comfy shoes. You're going to be doing a lot of walking, maybe even some dancing in the streets.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Don't forget an umbrella or a hat for some sun protection, because that Philippine sun, it's no joke.
Right.
But most importantly,
Yeah.
come hungry.
Oh, believe me, I will. This entire deep dive has been a feast for the senses, even if it was just through conversation.
What I find most remarkable is how this festival, the Sinukwan Festival, really captures the spirit of the Kapampangan people. It's this testament to their resilience, their artistry, their connection to their heritage, and their love for a good time.
It really does. And it makes you think about the power of festivals, how they can capture history, culture, even resilience, like you said. They're more than just events. They're these threads woven into the fabric of a community.
That's a really good way to put it.
Yeah.
And it's something I hope our listeners will keep thinking about long after this deep dive is over.
Yeah.
What stories do the festivals in your own culture tell? What traditions and values do they uphold?
That's such an important question to ask. And as we wrap up our exploration of the Sinukwan Festival, I encourage you to do just that. Explore, discover, and celebrate the beautiful tapestry of your own culture. Until next time, happy adventuring.